Hello everyone, and if you were here from the last video, welcome back. Rare Model Reviews here, and we are going to go and finish up my unboxing. So this thing had 6 kits, I already did the last 3, so we're going to go ahead and start small, work our way up with the high-grade Dove & Wolf. So let me see how big heavy this thing is. Yeah, I can do it now. Not as bad as it was before. Probably have to make a cut to pick that up, though. That thing fell on the side. But this is the 173rd High Green series. They have built like 100 more since this one came out. I want to mention that. And this guy came out 2014. Wow. Thought they would have did more than 112 years. But regardless, I love the Dove & Wolf. Dove & Wolf is super cool. I remember this thing back from when I first watched Double Zeta like years ago. Or I could say over a decade now at this point. And every time they make some sort of variation of the Dove & Wolf, I always love it because I just love this thing's design. We, of course, have the Gundam Mark V, which I need to build. I had that thing for super long. I kept pushing that thing back. I literally had it on my desk, or rather on one of my shelves on my desk, ready to build it. And I kept pushing it back to the point that I just picked it up and just took it back in my room. I'm not building this thing yet. Because I just kept getting more priority things. The Silver Bullet, I love that thing. I'm sure those are going to share a lot of similarities, but regardless, let me stop yapping and look around this thing because I could be here forever talking about the Dove & Wolf. So I can definitely say of all the high grades I have, the next high grade I built might just have to be this guy because I do love the Dove & Wolf. And like I said, just by looking at this thing, it definitely used a lot from the Silver Bullet, such as its arm, mechanic area, the weapon, similar to it. It's like with the shield instead of the cannon you put onto the body there. But a lot of this stuff does look very similar from the Silver Bullet, even the backpack. I mean, it makes sense that they want to reuse a lot of the parts all from it because, again, the Dove & Wolf is like the mass-produced version of the Silver Bullet or whatever. So naturally, there's going to be some similarities to it. Or I guess the Dove & Wolf is actually the mass-produced version of the Gundam Mark V. I forget how that hierarchy went. That's what happens when you have something that came out first, Dove & Wolf, and then they try to add on to it later. But have pretty big sheet of stickers here. Have this thing in this strange turquoise color with a whole bunch of stuff on here. I'll be here all day trying to list off what I see for what here. We have the stand here, which I remember from the Silver Bullet high grade I have, which I don't know if I ever revealed that thing. It's like a little stand to hold up the arms when it shoots it off. Got a bunch of parts here. Looks like for thrusters, they can put more parts over it, so that's very intricate of them to do. Have the reds here for the missile pods or what have you. You're still gonna have to paint the parts around the missiles black, but it's still cool of them to have made an individual red piece for it nonetheless. Now, if this is a master grade, they'll put a black piece over it to cover those red missiles. This looks like master grade sized beam sabers because the Silver Bullet is pretty big, which I'll show in a second with the menu. But not too many runners in this thing, so this thing shouldn't be too complicated to build. So let's see the height of this thing. 22 meters. Yep, so that thing is 4 meters bigger than an average mobile suit, made of Gundarium. So I'm trying to think. I'm almost positive they mass-produced the Dove & Wolf. Maybe I'm wrong when there was only one version. I remember the pilot of it. I don't know if it tells you the pilot here. No, it doesn't look like it. Maybe I'll mention somewhere in the menu. Okay, no, they mass-produced this thing because I see it right here. Only commander units. So that's for something. I'm guessing a hidden arm. But yeah, Dove & Wolf. It's always funny when they try to mass-produce a Gundam because this is like always what you get. You get something that's super over-engineered. And it's just like, is this really a mass-produced kit? Because they probably only made like 6 of these things anyway. So this is like a limited mass production. And then again, it even say mass-produced. This is Neo Zeon Quasi Psychomo. So as that name suggests, it's basically a cyber new type, or just a new type mobile suit for old types. The Dryson. I do need to get the Dryson. I know this version is a unicorn version. I didn't know they made a normal version and a unicorn version, but the Dryson's pretty cool. I actually was talking about that the other review I did for the Dwatch too. It's ironic. Have the finishing touches here on this thing. There's a tripod you could put onto this thing to hold it up, I guess, if you're using it on land. The extra arm, I'm going to assume that's the third arm it was talked about for the commander units. So I guess you still be able to throw a beam saber in that hand and use it. I'm trying to think if the Dovin Wolf shot beams out his hands or something, because I forget what the reason to even shoot the arms off really is, besides like some sort of rocket punch type deal. So this, of course, is a bit of an older kit, so it does use the older construction. The high grades constructions are a lot more detailed than this. I think they even do what the master grades do and show you what parts you need for each step. I know I'm building the Elysius right now. That's a high grade in that thing. Whatchamacallit. What was I about to say? Separated what parts you need to use and all that. And also say that even though I built that Silver Bullet, like literally when Unicorn was just released and all that, and I could still recognize a lot of the construction of this thing. And again, just looking at even the gimmicks all look very similar to it. So this thing definitely used so many parts from that Silver Bullet. I'm surprised they didn't make this a P Bandai kit, but let's be honest, a lot of this P Bandai stuff they put out is just kits they don't think will sell well, so they put it on P Bandai. So they basically could just make it to order instead of, you know, turning them off the assembly and seeing what people buy. But let me go grab that box out and continue. All right, so you guys may have got a glimpse of what this next kit is from the last unboxing, but if you did not, I kind of teased it. We got ourselves M'Quve's Gouf. So I actually really like M'Quve. He's one of my favorite Zeons, and I loved his Gouf as well. I thought the idea of him piloting a Gouf was pretty cool. And before I start yapping, let me move this box. I can't do this over here. There we go. So this came out 2014. They made a lot of these P Bandai variants of the 2.0 line in 2014. But yeah, nothing special. Of course, I see it around the box, per standard. If you see my last part of this unboxing, I even mentioned it, that it's usually only the add-on packs or whatever that show a little something around the box. But we're straight off the bat here. We have, this looks like a gold colored piece. It doesn't look too bad though. That's sky blue, very reminiscent of the Gem Custom. Have the glowing orange cockpit piece. Never understood why they made that glowing orange. I guess maybe glowed orange in the show or something. I don't remember it being glowing orange. Have the heated effect for the sword. Some red pieces for around the kit. Looks like the sword is red, if I'm not mistaken. That piece right here. You see my fingers pointing. Pretty sure that's for the sword. Soles of the feet and the knees are all, red. So that's gonna look very stylish. Have the inner frame here for the legs. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think the legs and like the chest are unique for the Gouf, but everything else I'm pretty sure is the Zaku 2.0. Oh, that's another weird thing this thing did. That's right. It used the original orange effect there, but it also has, as you can see here, a yellow effect for the chest and the sword. So clearly they want you to use those instead. And then there we go. Okay. They want you to actually use this dark blue piece. So I'm not sure why they have anything red over here. It's probably going to be their favorite thing P Bandai does. They'll reprint an entire sheet just to use like one little thing. Now I caught something here, so now I gotta go look back at that. Okay, so we have a clear piece here. I'm sure they want you to use the clear piece, not the pink piece here, but they probably want you to use that pink mono eye. So this is what I'm saying here, what I mentioned in my last video, or unboxing rather, that some of these P Bandai kits will have more unused parts than used parts, because they do weird, stupid stuff like that. Instead of just like molding stuff all in the proper colors, which they have the technology to do, they reuse an entire runner just for one little piece to put it in the color they want it to be. And it's just like, come on now. This is just a waste at this point. So we have this gold colored piping here, which is definitely gonna look very cool. More of that dark blue there, which kind of more of the same blue. Nah, it's a bit. That's honestly, it's more of a navy blue. I'll say it's more of a navy blue than the dark blue. Dark blue is like the normal good fish. That I was before I said it, I thought about it, like, nah, this is a darker blue or a different blue rather than what you'll find. And holy, doesn't this just give you a nightmares? Look at this thing. You see all of that that tubing you got to put over those pipes from there, and then we of course have Hammond and Rainbow Rowell here. Geez, now that I think about it, I probably do have the figures just now. I don't know if I dug them out of my shoebox though, because I have the Guff on my shelf right now. I don't believe I have Rainbow Rowell and Hammond next to it. But as you've seen there, I kind of glazed over it. Again, that dark blue pieces and all that. They probably use some of these for like the shield or something like that. And then again, they duplicate the entire sheet. It's just like, I appreciate them for wanting to make sure things are the right color and all that. But it's just like, come on now. I don't need like 2 or 3 extra runners of stuff I don't need because you guys want to do like a bit better part separation and stuff. So this looks just like Dozu's Zakuto. These are, I'm pretty sure, are golden dry rub-on decals they want you to put all over the kit. And then we have a few water slide decals to finish things off. They have the option there for you to use a water slide decal for the mono eye, although I'm pretty sure they have one in clear pink, so I'll be using that instead. This can stay here. Although I'll admit this little Makuve logo, which I'm sure goes in the shield, is very tempting. This is a pretty small water slide decal. So you know what, maybe this would be a good way for me to man up and finally start putting on some water slide decals instead of doing what I do now and having all these menus full of water slide decals and whatnot that I keep claiming I'm going to put on so that I can then put away the menus, but don't. But I was going to actually do a cut there, but I was going to put everything back in like 2 handfuls. So let's finish this up. So we go look at our last kit. So as per standard, they have that glorious gold heat rod. It's more like a shock rod. That thing doesn't burn anything. It zaps the heck out of you. And this thing looks very cool. So, okay, you see what I mean? They got the red piece are literally just for the knees. The whole sheet of runners just for that. Them telling you how to put on water slide decals and dry rub-on decals and whatnot. This thing just looks so cool in this picture. Oh my gosh. If I didn't know anything, I say the head's a little different. I know it's got like that pointy knight looking head, so like the Gyan has, but I don't know, the shape of the head looks a little different too. But this thing looks super cool. This is why I had to get this thing. I already love the Guff. It's one of my favorite Zeon Mobu suits, but it just looks so awesome in this Makuvi's color. It's a shame that we never seen this thing in the actual anime. Like, it'd be pretty cool if they ever did remake the original Gundam series. Maybe they could switch things up, you know, to make things a little different. Like, for example, as I believe in the MSV, the Makuve was supposed to have used his Guff at Odessa instead of launching a nuke. So that would have been cool to see. It's like, because then they wouldn't remake the Gyan fight at the end, but it is what it is. So we have, of course, the usual thing here, telling you the whole history of the Zaku and how they got developed into the Guff. We have all the Guff variants here, which is a lot. They never made a Guff flight type of any kind in Master Grade form, so that's kind of disappointing. I don't know what these things on the bottom are. I know that's the custom, but I don't know what the heck those two are. So if you recognize these two strange, exotic-looking mobile suits, please feel free to tell me what the heck they are in the comments. I'm sure one of them is probably the prototype Guff. Oh, no, wait, no. That's the prototype Guff right there, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, I don't know what the heck those two are. I know the other two is like a flight type, prototype, flight type. And I don't know what the heck the other the third one is. I thought there's like one prototype, flight type. But, this is pretty much the usual shtick for these things. Then just tell you... So, well, geez, this one, you just straight up make the entire Guff, because I don't think there's anything special in Makuve. It's just a different color version, I think, about. I don't know, no, there's a few special parts that I glazed over. Yeah. I don't know what's, I guess it used a different hand. The hands are a bit different, but yeah. besides that, there's a few pieces on here I'm going to assume that are a little different, and then the head's a little bit more different, of course. But yeah, besides that, you just build the normal goof. Kind of think that I never did unboxing of the goof. I wasn't doing reviews when I first built that thing a decade and some change ago. But again, a lot of this stuff is like the same as the Zaku 2.0. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's the wrong color scheme for Rambling Rowell's flight suit. I'm pretty sure his is blue, but anywho. Then of course telling you about his fights with ruin this thing and what have you. Overall construction, I said it before when I was looking at Garma's Zaku, but again, very enjoyable build, nothing too complicated. Everything looks very fresh and cleanly laid out, so you shouldn't have too many troubles with this thing. Pretty sure the arm and a bit of the leg construction is like the same for the goof for the Zaku. It's just really the body that's a little different because, of course, the cockpit, it doesn't have that mechanic where you can move it left and right, because there's some inconsistencies on which side you get out of the Zaku to. So someone wanted to be funny and capture that with the Zaku. Let me see. Yep, yeah, cockpit is definitely different. Yeah, this is definitely not the same cockpit at all. Maybe the bottom piece is, but the top piece is definitely different. But let me go ahead and throw that back in here. And now we got one more kit, and hopefully I will never do an unboxing this big ever. This is one of the things where I showed like zero restraint. Granted, I did have a pretty nice tax return, so I had the money to afford it. Affording wasn't a problem. It was more of a restraint thing, and let's be honest, a time thing, because I ordered 6 things here. And then I'm pretty sure there's a whole bunch of other stuff in different orders that I have coming as well. But after my next 2 orders, aka unboxings, I am probably going to stop ordering things for a good while, so I can focus on doing actual reviews, not unboxing, and, well, let's face it, thinning out my collection here, because as you've seen from me literally sitting here unboxing stuff for a week, I have a lot of stuff. So this was the last thing I have here, the coup de grace. I don't believe anything is in here. And I mentioned it before, but I'll mention it now. This, of course, is all P Bandai. I don't know how this got in here. This is from the USA Gundam Store order. Interesting, but okay. So shout out to, who is this, Roma, for packing this, well, packaging my previous Gundam Store stuff. But this is something that I've been eyeballing for a while now, the Meteor. And this thing came out 2012. This might have been the revised version of it or whatever, because the original Meteor, I'm pretty sure, came out way before this. But this thing basically, if I'm not mistaken, is revised to work with the real grade stuff, which I do have quite a few real grade kits. So I'm pretty sure this thing comes with a high grade Freedom Gundam. So, geez, now I'm trying to think. Did I? I think I might have forgotten. I think I might have ordered a real grade non-powered Freedom Gundam. Then I got the master grade Freedom Gundam. So, geez, I might have reconsidered buying that real grade Freedom Gundam if I did buy that thing. Maybe that was the Destiny and the Justice Gundam I got instead. I hope I didn't buy it. A real grade Freedom Gundam. Because this, I'm pretty sure this thing comes with a Freedom Gundam free to mount with the Meteor, because of course you having nothing to put with this Meteor would be kind of crappy. But regardless, before I say Freedom Gundam a 15th time, we have some stickers here. The blue ones, I'm pretty sure, for the scopes on the cannons on the sides. Purples and grays for various bits and pieces around this thing. It's a very interesting little texture pattern thingy on the back of this thing. You got some large poly caps there, and then we have the cannons there as well. So only thing I could really make this thing a little complicated is if I have screws, but otherwise this thing is just big. I built it in drill bin. That thing wasn't too hard to build. There were a few pieces, rather steps, that jam me up a little bit on that thing, because they're a little I wouldn't say complicated, just confusing. I wasn't sure what the heck I was doing. It was a little tricky getting some of the stuff in, but that was mostly related to screws. Besides that, that thing didn't take me too long to build. I feel like I actually might have built that thing in like 3 days, or taking gaps, of course. Not saying it took me 72 hours. But this thing has decent color separation from what I'm gathering, although usually when you look at the painted image and then you look at what you have, it's like, never mind, I need to paint stuff. Surprisingly, there's not many runners in this thing. If you looked at my Dendrobium unboxing, that thing had so many runners, you needed 2 boxes to put them all in. Whereas this thing is just a pretty big box. I've seen Master Grades with boxes bigger than this. Don't believe me, I got my O's box right down there. You probably can't get quite a scope of how big that box is, but trust me, the thing's so big, I had a handle on it. We of course have some decals on it. I think these are sticker style decals, so you could choose which styling you want to put Meteor on. Actually, no, that's probably for different parts on the body, but you can do it for either the 1 or 2 for this thing, which of course would be Kira or Atheron's Meteor. And then of course, you need a big base to put this thing on, because yeah, you probably could stand this thing up without one, but it'd be pretty crappy of them to do that. And then this is awesome. They have unique beam effect parts for the Meteors, and there's some more, looks like sticker style decals to put all over this thing. So that's actually pretty badass. I'm looking around at the runners itself. Those runners look very old. The styling of them, they're like that big third-party looking runners, the old style that they had when they first started. And this thing says 20. Yeah, this thing says, looks like 2004. So yeah, I'm not sure exactly what they changed. Like I said, with this revised version, it's said labeled for 2012 in a box. I showed it on the camera for you guys to see. So actually, now that I think about it, I built this thing. I don't see anything for the Freedom Gundam. So you know what would be pretty crappy of Bandai if all this revised version did was like take out the Freedom Gundam that it came with, because that would be pretty crappy than it did. Thankfully, I do have a real great Strike Freedom Gundam sitting right here. So when I do get around to building this thing, I can at least pop him in there. Since it looks like this is what we're doing. We really did get a Meteor with no mobile suit to put in it, which is like a first. Usually with a mobile armor like this, they always give you a mobile suit to put in it. Lisius has the mass-reduced new Gundam. They could have put that as a separate release if they wanted to. The Dendrobium came with the Stamen. That thing released by itself as well. Well, I think there was 2 versions of that thing. It was just the mobile suit or the Dendrobium. Of course, I have the little pieces here showing all the colors and where to put these stickers at. And this menu is not that big, by the way. I want to point that out. This is only 16 steps it takes to build this thing. I guess I'll look at it like this. So yeah, like just what I was saying before, just a bunch of big pieces. Really slap those little arms in, put those in there, put those on there, build the thrusters, put that on the body. Like honestly, I'm a little tempted to move this thing up on my my list here. I might have to build this thing pretty soon. I already listed how many things I wanted to build before, I think in my last unboxing. But yeah, this thing's definitely got to get moved up now. This thing doesn't look too tedious to build. In fact, this thing looks less complicated than the Lisius. Granted, it is an older mobile suit. So we, of course, have on the back here explaining how to put the mobile suits in. See, like I said here. Yep. See, that's what they are pieces of crap. I want to go look up a video of the original unboxing for this thing. I'm almost positive it came with a high-grade Freedom Gundam. These cheapskates took out the Freedom Gundam from this thing, and then they slightly tweaked it or whatever to allow you to put a real grade in her. Maybe they just changed this part of the menu to mention real grade and high grade here. That's really crappy of them. Because even this little effect part for the sabers or whatever is from the original version 2004. I mean, kudos to them for all the way back and then making a unique effect part or whatever, but still. Oh my gosh, man. It just continues to disappoint me. Like, I have to say it. From them letting third-party companies build stuff that people have been waiting for years to do, to stuff like that, them taking stuff out. Like, all I could do is shake my head. But that's going to do it for this unboxing. This thing's up to 25 minutes. I could definitely have gotten to just 20 if I stopped yapping as much. But thank you guys all so much for watching. I can't wait to build all this stuff here. The Glyph, admittedly, how cool it looks, probably push that thing back a bit more. Hopefully by the end of the year I'll build it. But these other two definitely I'll have built before the end of this year. You can count on that. So thank you guys all so much for watching. And if you watched both parts of this unboxing, I appreciate the heck out of you. And stay tuned, because I believe I've finally taken care of all of my unboxings. So, I mean, I guess only thing left now is to look at my shelf and look at my videos and see what I haven't did a review on. I can already say I haven't looked at those Black Knights, although I kind of want to build the fourth and final one of the little set there, so I could review all those in the set. I need to build, I'm sorry, not build, review the gun barrel there. I'm pretty sure I already reviewed the strike dagger I've attached to. And then, of course, we have the Strike Gundam. I reviewed that, but I still need to review the accessory pack that came with the striker and launcher pack. You see that thing rocking, which is going to be a bit of a project, because I'm going to have to put that thing on with each individual pack, then put it into the the full version here. Although I might do it backwards and cheat, since I already have it on right now. But again, thank you guys all so much for watching, and I can't wait to be back with an actual review. And of course, if you guys like this video, you know exactly what to do. Take care.